Hi everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'd like to show you how easy you can connect Grove I2C peripherals to the Yoshipi. So in this case I have a 4-channel relay by Seed Studio, and notice this is using a Grove I2C connector, so 4 wires going from peripheral to the Yoshipi via this connector using I2C, and we can easily just interact with it by this app that I made using the touchscreen, so I can toggle easily on and off all these relays. So I'm just going to show you how you can put this together. So let's first dive in and go a little bit into a refresher here. So I have the specs here, and you can see that you have 2 I2C capable connectors, one for Grove and another quick connector here. And there are for SPI, there's the microbus that you can also use. I'll probably give more examples in further videos. In this video, we're focusing on the Grove connector by Seed Studio. So, and we're putting this all together using Meadow.Foundation. Meadow.Foundation is a collection of over 200 peripherals, all in .NET. And you can see if you go to the developer.wilderness.lab.co, in the Meadow.Foundation section, you can see this massive collection of drivers that are already available in the form of NuGet packages. So it's very easy and very intuitive to use. They all have their proper documentation with usage snippets. So in this case, we're going to use the 4-channel Grove relay channel here by Seed Studio. And the first thing you're going to need is actually look it up for the NuGet packages. So if you go to the NuGet store and you do Meadow.Foundation.relay, I searched here, and notice you have 4 different options here. In this case, we're using the 4-channel relay. And if you go to the README section, there are some links here that it'll give you some more information, but the important one, or the most useful one, would be the usage documentation. So there's a working code snippet here that you can just copy paste into your project and you can get it to work. So let me show you this in action. So the first thing we'll need to do though is copy the package ID, because we're going to add it into our project. So if I open Visual Studio, I have a bare bone project here that is a Yoshipi app. And all Meadow applications come with an initialize and a run method. The initialize is actually set up or turn on or activate any other sensors that are part of your project. And then finally, once it's all set up and ready to go, then the run method will be called, and you can start monitoring with sensors, start turning some things on and off, sounding alarms, etc., etc., etc. So the first thing you're going to need is we're going to have to add a NuGet package for this. So in this case, I already added the Meadow.Foundation Grove 4-channel relay. So the next thing here I'm going to show you is, let's copy over the code snippet to see this in action. So let's copy this and let's paste it here. I'm taking the initialize and run method. And now we're going to add a few usings that are missing. System of threading for the threads. And I am missing an instruction. This is the 4-channel relay that we need to declare on top. And once we do that, then the next thing is, this is a Yoshipi app, so it's a composite of hardware peripherals that are connected into a board. So for that, we need to use the hardware property here, hardware.grove I2C. So what this does is, under the hood on Yoshipi, is instantiating an I2C bus, and it's creating an object that is going to be exposed in the Grove I2C property here. So when we're instantiating an I2C peripheral, basically we'll need to pass in the I2C bus along with the address. So in this case is the I2C, the Grove I2C property. So we're passing that along with the address. And now we're good to go to control our relay. And now if we go to the run method, now that our object is done, then you can do several things like turning them all on or off, or you can also go individually and turn them and open or close is the state of them. So let's change this one. And so if we have that and we deploy it, it's going to look something like this. Let's do cd 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 hello Yoshipi.net. And let's put it in demo view so you can see, take a closer look. You can see the relays toggling individually after toggling them all on and off. There they are, all on, all off, and now going one by one, all in an infinite while loop. So if we go back to coding, you can see that they're all stuck in a while true loop and then doing this all over again. Okay, so that is a basic walkthrough about how you can use the Grove connectors, the Grove for relay channel. Now, if I'm going to stop this. Now, as for the Grove relay controller, this is a new sample that I wrote. It's a slightly more complicated one, but I'll do a little overview. And then all this is open source and available on my repository, so you can download it yourself and run it and study it more carefully. But the way I structured these projects is I have a hardware class that has a hardware interface. Think of it as a manifest of different peripherals that your hardware solution is going to use. In this case, I'm using a display, a touchscreen, a 4-channel relay. And then you can declare several classes that actually implement this interface. That way you can have multiple different displays or different touchscreens, and they're all seamlessly will work together because all of these peripherals are interfaced. So in this case, I'm passing in a Yoshipi, and I'm declaring the Yoshipi is exposing the display, the touchscreen, and here I'm initiating or instantiating the 4-channel relay. So that way I have access to these 3 peripherals on this hardware manifest that I'm creating. And now this helps to create actually the hardware from the Meadow app, the main class. And once I have this hardware, I pass it on to a main controller. Well, think of it as the maestro that's going to just orchestrate and use all the peripherals that are in this hardware manifest. In this case, I'm creating a display controller, which you've seen before in my sample projects. Think of it as an abstraction that is actually in charge of just doing all the drawing and all the human interaction. And I'm also passing the touchscreen. So if we go here to the display controller, I'm exposing 4 events, and these events are going to be fired whenever I press a button. So this is using micro layouts. So I'm doing all the drawing of all the interface. But the important takeaway here is I have these buttons, and I'm passing in, the width and height and the coordinates of where they are. And the important part here is the relay button. We have a click method. So when a click event, so we go to click event, we're actually going and toggling a Boolean status of that relay, and then we're swapping the image of that relay to make it turn green or red. And finally, we fire the event that we're exposing. So, and the main controller is going to be able to get that event and finally go into that hardware manifest that I talked to you about, and we access the 4-channel relay, and then we just toggle closed or open relay state for all these relays. And so notice it's pretty straightforward. There's also some logic there on the display controller of how to calibrate, which is included also on the Hello Yoshipi base example that I showed you on my walkthrough on the Yoshipi, so you can take a look at that, how to put that together. So once you have all that, then you're good to go and you can run this application, Grove.net here. And now you finally reach your end goal, which is actually using those buttons in micro layout, and you are good to start toggling your relays. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure to stay in touch in my socials or in this channel to see any more upcoming videos. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.